Jeju chira vuren chirna makrigens lon chira konar kalen lukrak sanen galen yuga maten kitchen spin stroke Kosher haven and yon Smura kaka so shakrian var Shaiku kjell var ansnen yo
Originally we're from Holland and we always lived in a rural community. We decided to move over to Scotland 6 years ago, but because we always had our own business, we were just looking to get one, and when this one came up, we thought this was just perfect for us. 2 weeks ago, I came back in the shop in the morning and I thought, that's funny, the door's still open, someone must have come in. It's just that I forgot to lock up the day before, and it's been open all night and everything's still here, so that shows you how safe it is here on the island.
I'd been looking for a big old house in Scotland to buy so that I could run it as a B&B, but our main business is making and selling flower essences. This is an unusual business for the Western Isles, I can assure you. I think we're the only flower essence business in any of the Scottish islands, and it's a major business. We're sending our flower essences, our orchid essences, out around the world and all over the UK and Europe, and it generates more income for us than the bed and breakfast that we run, and has even been growing despite the recession. I love the fact that kids can grow up here without you having to be worried about somebody whisking them off and so on like that. I mean, children here can have a fairly normal childhood, and I love that about the place.
In the school we have children from age 3 to 12, and obviously it's a multi-composite situation.
I want to take over my dad on the ferry.
I want to fix things. I just like fixing stuff.
You can go out and play because there's not many cars, so you can go yourself sort of. And there's loads of places to go, to the beach and woods and stuff.
Well, when the children leave here, they now have the choice of going to Tarbert Academy or Campbelltown Grammar School. It's equidistant for both schools.
I think we're going, I don't know where we're going.
Tristan and Rice. Wish.
Okay. What are we doing?
We're just going out for playtime. It's past playtime. Oh, there's George for the fruit.
Just like the individuality of Gigha, like the way it looks and the people here, and the fact like it's safe. You could go out till like all hours in the morning and not have to look over your shoulder and things. Yeah, I do feel quite isolated like in the winter and things when I can't go to clubs and things after school and everyone's going to the pictures, and then they talk about it the next day of school and I'm like, oh well, I stayed in my house. I think they should just bring a really big bridge.
mean, nobody should kid on. It's not an ideal situation. Things actually can become fraught occasionally, as as in any community. The island was bought by the community in 2002. It involved borrowing a lot of money and also receiving lottery funding and grant funding, and there was £1 million to be paid back, which was done within, I think it was a year. And I actually don't think there's just as much community spirit in the place since the buyout. Can't complain at all. The only complaint's the weather. The last couple of days, as you probably know, the service has been disrupted quite badly by southwest gales. So I'm afraid it's part of island life. Most of the people are extremely sort of, they're realistic about it.
I think the main challenge for any place like Gigha is sustainability, and it's the ability. Sustainability is quite a trendy word now, but it actually, by definition, the ability to sustain yourself, and that's what we need to get to.
Gigha had the really, difficult situation of not having any money and having enormous responsibilities. Taking over people's houses isn't something you do lightly. Statistically, Gigha was actually the worst place to live in Britain in terms of the housing standard when the trust took over. And that's been something that's been slowly reversed. And one of the big questions was, how do you pay for it?
The wind farm was a success, an unprecedented success. Paid off all its debt in 4 years. Absolutely fantastic. Every penny that it generates now is profit for us.
So we were the first community-owned, grid-connected wind farm in the country.
I work down at Gigha Halibut. Fishing is a hard job. It's 16, 18, 20 hours a day. Fish go to mainly restaurants in this country. A lot of the fish go to Waitrose.
Thank you.
The house that we're in, isn't it lovely? Isn't it a charming little house? Now, this is one of the houses that were built about maybe 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. 8 here, and I think 10 at the other side of the hotel. There have been changes, these sort of changes, because this little cache of houses and the other one are the only two. But then a lot of our young men are building their own houses now. This was a dairying island. It was an island that produced a great deal of milk, and we had a nice creamery ourselves here, and then something happened, it got disease in it or something.
There used to be 13 farms, but there's only 3 now.
All our milk had to go down then to Campbelltown.
Yeah, the Mullicantyre cheese, you ever heard of it? Yeah, it's good cheese. It gets a lot of awards.
We haven't got very much money on the island to run things, so there's an awful lot of putting your hand out for the government to help you out, you see. That's what is always the way with, well, it's the way with the world at the moment, isn't it? One hell of a mess through greed and appalling.
you can never escape. Everybody knows who everybody is, and I think that is wonderful, because they either know when to back off, not approach you if you're that way inclined. If you'd like your own space, folk appreciate that. But we have TV. We've now got FreeSat. We've now got Sky TV. We've got computers, and we've got all sorts of things like that. We can still be right in the hub of knowing what's going on in and around the world. We've got digital radio, digital coming on next year. Woo-hoo! So there is you can be right in amongst what's going on in the world all year round, every day if you want. If you don't want to, you just switch off. And this is a great place to switch off if you want to. That's why a lot of folk like to come here. They can switch off and leave all the rat race behind. I play a wee bit of music. There's Graham McCulloch. He's an accordion player. He's 81 now, and he still can bang out a good tune. And then there's Henry Macaulay in the art gallery. She's a mandolin player, and I've got an octave mandola which I play. And we love getting together. We'll play the ceilidh, we'll play hogmanay and things like that.
Obviously living in a beautiful place is a bonus, but it's mainly the work of the Trust that attracted me to live here.
I used to live in the Sussex countryside, and there was always the dull roar of the motorway a mile away.
In a way, the island sort of belongs to you, and you belong to it. I think it's the loveliness of if you're away for a holiday and you come back. It's the joy of coming back, really.
Gigha is a small island with a really lovely community where everyone's helping each other out and everyone's really friendly. If people come over, they can find it. If you see people coming over from the mainland for a holiday, they're all stressed, and after a couple of days you just see them relaxed. They just don't want to go, and that's the thing we just love the best.
In the holiday, when you get your 2 weeks in a cottage, you'd be sitting there at the side of the loch and the sun's going down over the hills, and you'd lovingly look at each other's eyes and say, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to live somewhere like this?
We get the visitors, and there's nothing better when a visitor comes round and they see, oh, look at that, that's brilliant, that's lovely. Or, wow, I didn't know you could grow that here. Oh, I've got one of them. What do you do with it? And it's just that interaction with people because they've been inspired by what they've seen with the plants.
I think I'll probably leave the island like when I get old enough. I'll go up to Glasgow and go to college and things. But I think eventually I'll probably move back here because like I know everyone. I've got so many memories here and everything from growing up.